Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. So I did not upload Alliance War number 8 and the reason for it is, well, it was quite bad, but it also didn't have too many very interesting fights. And so this is going to be War 8 and a 9 piece together. So War 8 was against Apoco and War 9 is against 211 New Avengers. And first war, so here we're going through it slightly sped up. In section 1 I am on path 1 and I'm dealing with Mojo and then Quake, and I'm using Quake to do that. It was a quite awful start against Mojo, and then I kind of woke up and then it all went quite fine. The real reason also why I didn't do too many fights this war is because I asked my officers not to give me too many fights. Primarily because I wasn't doing too well on the weekend. I had some health issues that has been ongoing for a while now. But yeah, anyways, this Quake fight is going to be quite atrocious. It's one of the worst Quake fights that I have had in a really long while, but that's actually not the worst fight of the war. The worst fight of the war is going to be what follows afterwards. But here we can see that I have somewhat managed to regain control. My Quake's at 57%. Opposing Quake is at 18 at this point, and I have stopped getting slapped in the face so much. And yeah, it's kind of like business as normal. Again, I got hit in the face at the beginning of the fight, then I had adrenaline pump in my blood, and then I kind of like pulled myself together. And now we are just kind of like waiting for instructions. I'm checking who needs to take the domino fight, and that turned out not to be me, luckily. And now I need to deal with this Emma Frost and Elsa. And this Emma Frost fight on paper is actually very simple. So I have Mr. Fantastic Synergy with Dr. Doom. So only thing I really have to do is land a heavy attack and keep landing heavy attacks, because heavy attacks inflict armor break. Also, thanks to Rage Node, I am pretty much guaranteed to cross that 2.5% damage mark and nullify Fury. And every time I do, if Emma Frost, if my Dr. Doom would be at 6200, I would gain shock, and I could basically just spam that heavy attack in the corner. But I kind of forgot slightly that I did not have a Doom at 6200. My Doom's 160. Anyways, there was another mistake. I didn't notice that I still had concussion on me, and thanks to that my heavy attack didn't land, which I quickly tried to rectify with the special 3. However, because of that special 3, Emma was stun immune because she didn't have an armor break on, so I didn't land the stun. And this fight is just all sorts of wrong. This fight is one of the worst fights like ever. Once again, I let my armor break expire, so Emma is stun immune. I'm dropping my level 3. I believe she will be at level 3 of her own after this, and I'm gonna be in big trouble. So she manages to land a combo on me because obviously she wasn't stunned, and now I get parried, and now I'm eating level 3. At this point I'm thinking, that's it, I'm done, I'm in the bin, I should die. Like, there is no legitimate reason why this still fight is going on. I have eaten so many hits. I have eaten level 3. I have done pretty much everything wrong that I could do in a fight like this. But still, here I am, still kicking. Emma is at 35%. I'm at 20-something%. And the fight's happening. And this is, again, one of those moments, kind of like, pull yourself together, finish it out. It's embarrassing as hell to have a fight like this, but I need to finish the fight, not die, and move on to the next one. Right, so at this point I got things under control. She's in corner, she has armor break on, all the Furies are nullified, everything is pretty much perfect. This from this point, obviously the fight is how it should have went initially, but yeah, this was by far the dodgiest Alliance War fight that I end up winning like ever. And after this fight, I'm just going to speed up the rest of the footage because it's going to be two extremely straightforward Dr. Doom fights against Elsa. I'm just going to heal up Dr. Doom. It costs a lot of potions as well, especially if you're boosted. I'm going to activate that combat region boost, well, because why not? And yeah, here is very simple fight. There are not two special nodes. She has that aggression prowess active, and I think power focus level 2 or something, but that's actually kind of helpful. The more power she has, the more power I can drain. So I drop my first level 3, go in for a combo, and the fight's over. So very quick, basic, simple Dr. Doom fight. And now we're gonna go up against Mordo. Shouldn't be any unexpected surprise in this fight either. Mordo cannot work against like Dr. Doom's passive stun, so that is a very worthwhile counter. I think at some point I will make a mistake of trying to attack him parried, or I will eat a level 1 in block and get some degen on me. But for most part, it's just like a very, very straightforward, stable fight. Again, very simple Dr. Doom stuff. I dropped my first level 2. There was that level 1 in the block where I got degen on me, but I'm just gonna go for another level 3 here, and that should pretty much wrap up this fight, nullifying and staggering his power gains. Super easy. Not too much to worry about here. And yeah, that was it for my contribution to that war. I didn't really feel quite confident enough to do any of the mini bosses. But now we are going to be talking about War 9. And War 9 actually started quite atrocious for our alliance. I don't even know what really happened. But I think when I woke up, we were losing by 3 deaths. And then shortly, kind of like as soon as I got to work, we were losing by 5 deaths. We had slightly more exploration, but we had a very weak start as an alliance. And luckily we managed to pull ourselves together. The war is technically still not over. We're still going on, but at this point we have gained lead in exploration and in depth. And well, not to kind of jinx myself, I expect that we will take this one as well. If we don't, I'll let you guys know at the beginning of my next Alliance War video. But yeah, so section 1, I'm on path 3 this time, and I'm going up against a champion, and there is like a 95% chance for nullify effects to fail that node, but Doom staggers a lot, so it doesn't really work against Doom for most part. Only kind of problem is I can't really nullify that armor buff anymore, but it's not a big deal. And here again, pretty much first Doom cycle I drop level 2. Obviously armor, 90% armor eats up a lot of damage, but incinerate damage still goes through, and that's all it takes. I didn't even I didn't boost pretty much for this fight. I think maybe one small champion boost. And now this Emma Frost, I wasn't scheduled to take this fight, but I was also wanting to kind of redeem myself from a very bad play in last war. And I was quite confident that Warlock is an option, and Warlock should be able to handle this Emma Frost quite well, because she will be gaining a lot of extra power. But so long as I can armor break her and drain her power, I should have kind of like a fairly solid control over the fight. Now we can see that at start of the fight they eat up my armor buff, and at some point I think I will manage to get it back on, because every time it would appear it gets eaten up unless I trigger like dexterity or something. But here I end up eating a level 1 from Emma Frost. It doesn't hurt too much because she has no prowess stacks, and obviously I have class advantage. But other than that, here I also activated 150% tech boost just to cycle my special 2s quicker, because that was the whole name of the game here. I wanted to get my level 2 armor break her so she can't go in diamond form, and if she has a debuff active on her, in that case she will constantly be losing power because she's trying to regenerate with willpower. So it's a very kind of like simple idea, and as you can see it's working quite great here, and Warlock is certainly an amazing option to counter Emma Frost here. Go for another level 2, and here I go straight into a nice 20 something K heavy crit, another heavy attack in a row, and the fight is over. So far so good, right? A fairly stark contrast, fairly stark perspective to the previous war. Now I will not be dealing with this Korg, but I will be dealing with some extra fights. I am doing path 3 in path 3 in section 2, but in order to get there I need to deal with this EMP modification lane, and here I could have realistically used either Red Guardian, or I could have used Dr. Doom, because Red Guardian doesn't gain buffs and EMP modification is perfectly counted. Also that not brute force, burden of might is perfectly counted, because I never have any buffs for myself to expire, so I will never lose any power. And that is the reason why I went with Red Guardian instead of Dr. Doom, because Dr. Doom would kind of like suffer from that burden of might node. And here, after I go for my first level 1, I just want to build up to level 2, and once I get to level 2, the fight should be pretty much over. Right, and now we are back again. So why I'm saying back again, because I'm actually recording this particular part of the voiceover much later in the day, because well, work's been absolutely crazy, and at this point the war has finished, and I can let you guys know that we did win. It was a nice fought close war, so once again shout out to New Avengers. They put up a really good fight, and now we must move on and talk you guys through the rest of the fight. So we have Colossus here, and against Colossus he has that bleed version of Thorns, and obviously if you just bring in a bleed immune champion, you should be pretty much good. That Colossus placement is extremely common, and it's like largely, I think, a Corvus trap, but nobody's really using Corvus there. I don't think I have seen Colossus there get a kill. But yeah, anyway, so I just brought in Warlock. It's a very basic, very simple fight. He actually, because of the taunt nodes, gets rid of his armor up, so I'm free to do full damage, and obviously at level 2 inflict armor breaks as well, and those armor breaks count as a debuff on Colossus. Willpower is trying to heal him up. He's losing power, and I finished the fight at like 99% here, and super simple, super easy. Like, you can't really ask for more simple, less risky type of fight. Now this one's going to be a bit trickier. Well, I'm going to do it with both links up, because in this situation the links really do not matter. I think he has like increased regen rate, but and it would correlate extremely powerfully with Buffet node, but obviously Warlock is going to be placing infection, so it doesn't matter how much he would try to regen, we're going to be shutting that down. And the second node is Power Sting, that places a Power Sting on me every time I feel a bar of power. But since I'm going to be completely ignoring that power suppression node, or hit counter suppression, or whatever that node is called, I'm never really going to have a bar of power outside of the first time I fill it up. And I'm not gonna even use any special attacks. So both of those link nodes are effectively irrelevant, and none of them add extra attack to the Warlock. And here the whole base plan is just extremely simple. Just stay as aggressive as you can. Make sure you always have infection up to negate those heals. And yeah, job's a good one. You just need to attack and pound in a corner. Now here was a bit of a scary moment. He dropped that level 2 extremely quickly, so I didn't manage to fully get out of the way and ended up blocking it all. And that was also kind of about the closest moment as we can get in this fight. It's going to be quite a long fight, as we can see. Over a minute in, and he's still at 60 something percent, and at every given time I obviously need to be careful of his power bars and where they're at, and that level 1 is tricky to evade, so at large I am going to be taking all of those level 1s in block, because I can evade Warlock's level 1, but I'd rather not try to do that in war. And I probably should have put Suicide Masteries on for this fight, but this was and is scheduled to be my last fight of the war, and I didn't want to change Masteries for that. Later on I was actually asked to do another fight, but I didn't read the message on time, and yeah, so this is my last fight of the war, and as the fight is closing to an end, once again I just wanted to give a shout out to Apoco, who we fought in war number 8, and New Avengers, who won for this current war. It certainly was extremely scary, especially at first, because they cleared a lot with very few deaths, and we cleared a bit more, but we had a very, very rough start, so I'm very, very happy that we managed to pull ourselves together. I believe now we are 8-1 in the season. We should be quite firmly in the second place at this point. Hopefully we can finish the season at the second place as well. That would be awesome. Lots of good rewards. Can't wait for that. But yeah, I really can't wait for season rewards. Just 1 week more basically. And yeah, that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, hit that like button, hit that sub button, hit all the buttons. I'll catch you guys soon. See ya.